Of course.
Wow. Somebody gonna be famous. Real famous.
I sit here writing to you now with my exceptionally long penis buried deeply and warmly into my vagina butt.
Isn't that neat?
Julie Hunter 77 has joined the game.
Call 911. This place needs to be swatted. It's obnoxious.
You have a bully cabal.
You don't find people being bullied into suicide on 4chan.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
Okay, if he says any more bad words, I'm gonna hang up on him. He doesn't own Kiwi Farm, and he died less than me. A little kid named Moon owns Kiwi Farm.
How do they make this more and more epic every time? We're defend ourselves.
I'm sorry, I'm a soy-filled bitch and like videos.
Aim. If we get Donald Trump just to tweet out, I mean, you know, just a tweet that mentions the hashtag Gamergate, it doesn't even necessarily matter how we use it. Man, the blue check marks are going to shit their fucking pants.
It's 2019. I can't believe anybody believes me. I'm a spinning fucking ball of water.
True. I bet you when Jim finds out, he's gonna just give me so much shit.
One never knows when the homosexual is about.
I've had over 1,000 rejections in real life, 2,000 rejections online, so that's 3,000 rejections total. I aim as low as possible. I aim for obese women, ideally ugly and obese. I would do anything just for a 300-pound ugly white girl.
I said it's not even hot outside. You are not allowed to bring her to the hospital. No, you get no permission to fucking do it.
You gotta be kidding. It's just like this declaration, right, of male dominance.
Put that in your pipe.
I definitely cheated on Super Mario with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Stop doing this stuff.
He's like the blue seductress who takes me out into the night and does wonderful things to me.
And never stop!
How can a Yorkshire Terrier live in the wild? It's in plain sight, but you just don't see it. You know what I mean?
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Hey kids! It's time to have fun! Ready, set, go!
What the fuck did that say? This is so good. By the way, God bless whoever edited this video. That was the perfect ending to it, I'll be honest with you.
Your content isn't even art, Jim. Your content isn't even artistic.
You were picking on a guy weaker than you, weren't you, Jim?
I might say it's because you're a loser who's playing to an audience of children.
I'd like to join your posse, boys, but first I'm going to sing a little song.
He's the very best. He's the roofiest cowboy in the Okay. Oh, fuck.
You have a bully cabal that you have created.
Bully
cabal.
Outer heaven.
What else would you call it?
I'd call it the Sweet Squad. We spread hugs and love across the internet.
Bullshit. You know that's not true. You know what you do.
What about name the bully? No. Name the bully for a thing. Bully Hunter will help you.
You don't want to build a wall. Instead, you want to use a military approach and run sorties over drug cartels.
Sure, and work with Mexico to rebuild its country. Yeah, sure. If we're going to invest money into something, why not in making Mexico better so that a bunch of fucking people don't run away from that country into ours?
Okay. That's brilliant.
This is like the ultimate condescending argument from somebody that's never ever been in a shitty position in their entire life. Like, I can't even believe
you don't
that
know
somebody.
what the fuck you're talking
I don't. You can't. Either that or you lack zero empathy or have zero intelligence.
I'm not part of your lying, doxing, harassing teenage fan club. I'm someone doing something in real life.
And I have an army of mercenary children wreaking havoc on web forums from here to hell and back.
You understand I'm a person, don't you? Do you think white people act like this? White people are meant to be polite and respectful to one another, and you guys can't even act like white people. It's really, like, amazing to me.
Jim, it's people like you that need to get a bullet to the head. Because you're promoting hatred, bigotry.
Is it bigotry against pedophiles? Pedophobia. It's pedophobia.
You're low rent, low IQ trash. I was 100% right to call you a religious bigot. It's what you and your fans are.
But as a white person who is male, you're never told that there's anything you can do. You have no idea what it's like to be told you're not supposed to do that. That's not the kind of job for you, because the sky is the fucking limit.
What I was saying was that there's this YouTuber that I admire very much, that I used to admire, but I realized that his game is to punch down. But he always mocks people who are weak, who are small. I can't stand the big guy who bullies me, or tries to bully me.
There is a toxicity that has developed among gamers.
Okay.
All right? It feels somewhat fascist in the way it's working.
That's amazing. Well, chat, apparently things move fast. Life comes at you fast. We had a Boogie 2 Electric Boogaloo stream planned. We'll still get to it, but it's going to be a little later on. Because how the fuck can you not talk about this? How can you ignore this? They will do literally anything to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. And it's become so farcical, so out of control at this point, so fucking ridiculous, that you can't turn your head away. Even if you're apathetic and nihilistic, even if the policies don't line up to what you're interested in, the show that we've been watching now for the past couple of years has really reached a crescendo of bullshit. And it's about time maybe I dive into it a little bit. You know, being sick lets me kind of tune out to the bigger issues. When Trump first ran for president, I didn't vote for him. He didn't have policies or a platform that really appealed to me. And so, I enjoyed the shit posting. I enjoyed the comedy. Found that quite... Oh, I'm being told my mic is too low. Of course. They'll do anything. They'll do anything to stop me. All right, let me go into settings here. What's happened to my poor, innocent little mic? Getting all heated and my mic levels are going down. This isn't correct. This isn't fucking proper. All right, hold on, chat. Hold on, chat. I manage my fucking devices. Or try to make them work. Of course, it's going to be a giant pain in my ass. Let's see. Oh my God. Why was that so low? Oh, that was terribly low. Hopefully that's better. Is that better, chat? I blame Boogie. This is all Boogie's fault. Coming in hot at the decibel level so low you couldn't even hear it. Had to have grandma wandering around. What is that? Yeah. Why'd you steal my hearing aids, Jimmy? I can't hear the stream, Grandma. Because the streamer obviously doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Got a little heated. Came in a little hot. As I was saying, it was going to be a Boogie stream. I had it planned out. Boy, is he a fuck up of monumental proportions. A lot of stuff lined up for that. It was going to be a very long Boogie stream. Going to be even longer stream talking about what happened. I've tuned out. I have for the last couple of years. Dealing with my illness and dying and all of that. It's pretty easy to do that, to be apathetic. I've always been accused of being a nihilist to begin with. And when Trump first ran for president, he didn't really have policies or a platform that appealed to me. I was worried about government overreach, worried about the National Defense Authorization Act and Gitmo and all this other shit that was going on. And I didn't see that being really addressed. But I like the shit posting, and I found it amusing. And then Biden becomes his opponent in the next election. And I thought, oh, there's no way he's going to lose to that. Didn't really care. Had my own shit to deal with. But what's been going on is so fucking far-fetched and ridiculous. So over the line. So blatant and in your face for the last 3, 4, 5 years that I have to talk about it. I can't just be jovially laughing at fat idiots on the internet that don't pay their child support and flee to other countries or scam because they've got some bullshit cancer story or do some cryptocurrency bullshit or, the myriad of other wacky characters, the zany people that inhabit the internet. When it feels like my country has just gone full on retarded. And I don't know how else to put it. We have a president in the Oval Office who is a doddering old man. He obviously has some mental issues. And that's not something that's been hidden. That's something everybody's been talking about on the left and the right for years now. Whether it's joking stories about him shitting himself in front of the Pope, falling down the stairs more than Gerald Ford ever did, getting lost using a teleprompter, handing out questions to every single interview he does, meandering and wandering off like he's on acid, he's taking shrooms. You've got to tard wrangle him if you bring him to a conference because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a confused old man. It's like all the old rumors about Ronald Reagan and his wife having to keep him under control with a jar of jelly beans because he'd lost his mind. Except you're watching it play out in real time. Joe Biden is checked out. He's not there. I don't know who's running the country, but it's not Joe Biden. Let's just be fucking honest. And the Democrats obviously are a little scared with what's going on with him because they're letting him make a fool of himself publicly now. They've taken the gloves off. They're letting you see the full impact of it. Fucking up people's names, fucking up dates, fucking up events, saying weird things, doing weird things, acting weirdly. He did terrible at his debate. He doesn't really instill a lot of confidence that he's mentally there to be able to handle the office of the presidency. And all the time that's going on, you've got some extremely wealthy people Some people that are the heads of major internet platforms and major special interest groups that are fucking terrified of Donald Trump. I don't think it's anybody. I don't think anybody's under the illusion. You're not confused when you look back at how they didn't take it seriously when he ran the first time. He'll never win. Oh boy, wasn't that fun? Colbert and everybody else, all the late night jokes and the articles. Silly old Donald Trump will never win. He doesn't have a chance in hell. So nobody took him seriously. And then he got elected president. And that scared the shit out of these people. That scared the ever-loving fuck out of these people. They fucked up. And they knew they fucked up. They fucked up because they let you talk about shit you wanted to talk about. Your memes and your jokes and your sarcasm, your disillusionment with the body politic. They just thought they could just bulldoze their way through it, that nothing was going to happen. And he gets elected. And they flip the fuck out. You want to talk about how there's been a lockdown on our freedom of speech and our ability to say what we want to do and express our thoughts online? That really went into overdrive after he got elected, because they realized they held the keys to the kingdom with social media. By allowing people to talk about what they wanted to talk about on platforms in a way they wanted to talk about it, they let him get elected. People talked about how they were sick of politics, how they were fucking tired of it. And if you think that's just a right-wing thing, it's not. The left went through something similar with Obama. He came in, he was going to be the young black Kennedy. Remember that? And instead he expanded presidential powers. He didn't get rid of Gitmo. He didn't get rid of anything. And they became disillusioned with it. So here's the right's chance, right? We got a guy on our side. Oh, boy. He's going to come in and he's going to change everything. And people love talking about that. He was rude and crude, said shit people didn't say. And polite company. And people loved it. It resonated with them. It felt real to them. And they spread his word everywhere. They got really invested, really involved. All the grifters came out and they made a shit ton of money. But you had the diehard true believers and they spread that fucking message. He gets elected president, they shit themselves. And they realize we can't ever fucking let this happen again. We are going to lock shit down. You look at the social media platforms and the content sharing platforms you use today and the rules that are in place right now, they are in place directly because of this man. You think things have become totalitarian and their terms of service? You're right, they have been. That's the direction it has taken. Go watch a YouTube video where somebody talks about anything and watch them self-censor themselves. And I'm not even talking about saying edgy words anymore at this point. Oh, the slur words and the racial words and things like that. If a story comes up talking about sex abuse or rape, you can't say that. They'll bleep it out. They'll put a little asterisk in the word now. Certain things are just verboten. Nothing uncomfortable. Nothing real world anymore can be discussed. That's just YouTube, but that's everywhere else. That's been shoved down your throat everywhere else. And that was the game plan. Lock it down so this guy can't win again. And boy, they threw that into practice when it was him versus Biden. And now where are we? Now he's getting fucking shot. Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt because they are that scared that he could become president again. I know, the eponymous they. Who is they, Jim? Well, I'd say it's a conglomeration of all the groups that have come together that hate Donald Trump and want this country to continue its descent into madness. You talk about an issue like immigration. You talk about the southern border. And I don't think you're going to get a lot of pushback even from people on the left because they recognize there's something a little fucky going on down there. Remember, Biden was the one who was supposed to come in and he was going to bring some kind of a reasonable stance to this. And then when the gates were thrown wide open, what did he do? He threw Kamala right under the bus. Oh no, she's in charge. Kamala Harris, that's the one who's in charge of the southern border. That's why it's so terrible, is we have millions of people flooding across it. Well, I don't know what's going on. I mean, look at what is going on in this fucking country. You don't even need to look. God, you could look at the entire West Coast. Let's be honest. Look at Washington, Oregon, and California. Look at the district attorneys that are in power there. How many times have we seen really extremist, leftist Antifa members go around burning and destroying shit. And then if they get arrested, and it's not a federal charge, it's a state charge, the DAs, whatever county they happen to be in, lets them go. They recruit right out of homeless camps, they recruit drug addicts, they recruit extremists, they let them go around and pillage and burn shit to the ground, because the idea is anarcho-tyranny. They're going to make you so afraid to defend yourself and trust the government that you just give up, that you just hide in your fucking house. That's the goal. And they propagate this message through mainstream media. They propagate this message through the refusal to prosecute. They propagate this message by making you afraid to talk or to act or to get together as a group or to vote. And it's reached the point where they're so brazen now, this conglomeration, this ephemeral coagulation of these different groups, that they're just willing to straight up shoot at them now. But oh boy, did it backfire. Oh, who would have ever guessed? You know, the leftists that are so obsessed with fucking Star Wars would have Stormtrooper aim. Oops. Maybe get better fantasy, assholes. Maybe if you were into Warhammer 40K, he'd be dead now. But nope, you like Star Wars. Oh, how'd your little Jedi go? Oh, look at me, I'm Boba Fett. I can't shoot my fucking gun. Ooh, oh, look at me, I'm a Stormtrooper, Daddy. Real good, asshole. We should give a round of applause to the retard assassin. You've just elected Donald Trump. Talk about a catastrophic backfire, dipshit. That picture is going to be historic. Look at it. Fucking soak it in. They still talk about Teddy Roosevelt. They still talk about him getting shot and then giving a fucking speech saying you can't keep a bull moose down. You've just done that for Donald Trump. You've elected him. There's no way he's going to lose this election. You don't think this is a wake-up call to people? To the apathy-riddled nihilists out there, the centrists out there, the people that have seen things getting crazier and crazier, that have seen government policies that seem a little bizarre, that seem mainstream media seeming to constantly overstep, that rioters never get prosecuted, that activists can get away with bloody murder, that DAs don't ever prosecute, that the police are just catch and releasing because they're told to, that states have to fight with the National fucking Guard to keep their borders closed so they don't get overwhelmed with criminals? You don't think they've been watching that? You don't think people are tired of the fucking economy ass raping them, bending them over and fucking them in their ass as people pretend like it's not broken? And then they check their shopping apps and find out that the shit they ordered 3 years ago that was $100 is $600 now? That their rent is doubled? That a new truck costs $110,000 fucking dollars? As smiling politicians tell you everything's fine and throw their money to foreign countries? As we're not prepared to compete with anyone? What's the game plan here? Just burn it to the ground? So now we're going to go after Trump. We're going to prosecute him on anything we can prosecute him on. Civil case after civil case, criminal case after criminal case, anything to stop him from getting elected. And oh boy, that didn't work. Let's just fucking shoot him. Let's shoot him. That'll do it. But boy, did you miscalculate. That's iconic. That is an iconic fucking photo. There are going to be many of them. And they'll be in history books. You idiots have no idea what you've done. Again, that's a eponymous they, like the royal we. What who are we talking about? I think we know who we're talking about. I'm not trying to pin this on every Democrat or every person that's on the left. But there is a large portion that have been allowed to basically act in an uncontrolled manner for far too fucking long. We saw that personally in my state, Minnesota, with George Floyd. All these riots, infrastructure getting burned to the ground, police precincts getting burned to the ground, businesses getting burned to the ground, and everybody was told insurance will cover it. The businesses will come back. They didn't. Downtown is a desolate shithole. Crime is through the fucking roof because they defunded the police. But all the people that were screaming those talking points about how terrible Minnesota was, how terrible the police were, how terrible all these injustices were, they're using private taxpayer money for their own security forces. Welcome to anarcho-tyranny. That's where the politicians and the rich people, they're protected. But the police can't act because they're either fired or kowtowed And if you try to defend yourself from some kind of criminality, you get in trouble. Criminal breaks into your house, you stop them, you're in trouble. Enjoy shopping in a fucking grocery store where every item is under lock and key. We have allowed our country, our society, to sink to the lowest common denominator. We appease and appeal to the people that take the greatest advantage. And then we close our eyes and pretend it's not happening. We pretend that we just need to just get by to get on by. And that things will somehow magically work themselves out. They aren't. Things aren't magically working themselves out. Things are fucked. Things are really, really fucked. And I don't know if this is a portent of things to come. Is this some insight in what the future is going to be like? Are they going to start taking shots at him everywhere? What's the mainstream media's reaction going to be? What's Biden's reaction going to be? Eating a fucking ice cream cone and crapping himself? You're going to have Kamala come out and wipe his ass? And there's a point where you have to say enough. Just enough. No more. I think we're at that point where you're shooting politicians that are running for president. Where it's just that open, that allowed. You know, after this happened, I'm sitting waiting, getting ready to do this stream about Boogie. And the first thing that happens, aside from memes and people shitposting and talking about what's going on, are people saying that it must have been a setup. Donald Trump must have hired somebody to shoot him with a BB gun to get a photo op. That's the story that they went with. Until news starts breaking that other people died, that they got shot and died. So it's not a photo op with BB guns. I guess I'm speechless. I don't really know how to process this. It's pretty clear the cards are on the table. We have allowed extremists in this country to burn our cities to the fucking ground for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. We have allowed district attorneys to not do their jobs because of their associations with these groups. We have basically handicapped our police and our border patrol. We have weaponized our government to go after things that are of non-importance, rather than dealing with the bigger issues. We've allowed that to happen. We've allowed the propaganda from the media and the people that are in control of our social media to get to the point where we're told what to think and what we can fucking say and when we can fucking say it and what's fucking allowed to talk about and the language we fucking use when we do it. Ooh, don't say rape! YouTube doesn't like it. Then now we're at the point where he's getting shot. And that's on us. Because we allowed it. That's the honest truth. We allowed it. We allowed it. It's not that they take control. It's that we allowed them to take it. That every step of the way where we should have said, fuck this, enough. We're like, it's too busy. Too much shit going on. Economy's too bad. Got to worry about my rent. Fucking COVID lockdowns are going on. Oh, we got this shit going on in the Ukraine. Oh, what about Russia? Ooh, North Korea, China, and Taiwan. You know, look over here. Look at all this. Oh, all this other stuff's going on. Too much shit to pay attention to. Can't pay attention to this. It's fucking rotten to its core. This incestuous relationship between media, business, and government is fucking rotten to its core. And they're so blatant and smug about it. They don't give a fuck what you think about it. And this is the fucking culmination of that. It's infuriating, chat, that we've reached this point. Today was supposed to be talking about Boogie. You know, I had a fucking Richard Simmons tribute because he's dead. And then, just out of nowhere, just shot at him. But boy, did you fuck up. Oh, did you fuck up in a catastrophic way. I don't think, there are moments in history. It's very rare. Let me be blunt with you. It's very fucking rare that anybody gets presented a moment in history. One of those really iconic things Something that's going to go down and be remembered for fucking ever. And Trump knew it. Trump knew it. He gets shot. He's covered in blood. He's huddled over by all Secret Service and military, and police are up on fucking stage. He's talking about, where's my shit? What am I going to do? But you could tell. There's a moment where it clicked for him. He's like, this is one of those defining moments. I can let them drag me out of here on a stretcher, looking weak and enfeebled, or I can act like I am. A man with some fucking balls, not like Joe Biden, the ice cream eating, doddering old fool. So I'm going to stand up and fist pump and basically say, fuck you to the asshole that just tried to kill me. And then that's what you get. Thousands of photos getting shot. American flag waving in the background, blood dripping down his face, fist in the fucking air. Look at this photo. It looks like that it looks like the Secret Service agents are huddling around him for protection. This motherfucker got shot in his head, and they are huddled around him for protection. He's like, Daddy Bear, are you seeing this shit? Look at this. People in the chat like, God Emperor, you're goddamn right, God fucking Emperor. They are literally huddling around him like he's made of fucking titanium. Get the one in the front there. Oh, please, God, don't let him kill me, Donald. Don't worry. My blood will heal you. I'm not fist pumping. I've caught the second bullet in the air. I'm Mr. Miyagi that shit. I don't even need chopsticks. Fuck him. I'm into better content than Star Wars. Other guy on the right looks stunned. He's looking right at the camera. He's like, holy shit. Are you seeing this? Are you watching this? Are you watching what's happening? You viewing what's happening here? Teflon Don. It's not Teflon Don. That bullet didn't slide off him. This motherfucker ate it. He ate it and shit it out. There's a little fucking brass statue on that stage that Donald Trump's stomach crafted that just says, fuck you. It's a little bullet statue. His body absorbed it and crapped it out. It says, fuck you, and it was aimed right at the guy that shot at him. And who is the guy that shot at him? Let's take a second. Let me take a second and see if I can find out what winner is the one that went after Donald Trump. Who's the shooter that took the fucking shot? Oh, I've already seen it trending. What do we have here? False flag as a trending topic on Twitter, and BB gun. Because, boy, that was the cope. But now we've got the trending one is Antifa. Oh, I've got a good feeling about this. Let's see. We've got a tweet up here. Someone lost his life. Donald Trump survived, but the assassination attempt had more than one victim. This isn't just an attempt. So they're saying it was Antifa. Reports that the assassin was an Antifa, an Italian YouTuber Antifa man by the name of Mark. Now, I can't jump right into it because I don't know if that's even real or not. But boy, give it some time. I wouldn't be fucking surprised. Would you be surprised if it turned out to be Antifa, chat? Would that surprise you? In fact, I don't think it would. I don't think it would fucking surprise anybody. Let me start a fucking poll. Would it surprise you if Star Wars aiming idiot was Antifa? Yes or no? Let's see what the chat thinks. I know it takes a minute. I'll give you a second to catch up. There's always a bit of a delay. Do you think they're going to try to hide it? Do you remember the school shooting that took place where they went in there, what was it, the Tradefesto, and the sheriff and the state held on to that for almost a year without releasing it because, oh, it's too dangerous to let that out. We can't look at nobody can look at this manifesto from this school shooter. Whereas every other manifesto has always been released, but not that one. Finally comes out and it's as crazy as everybody thought it was going to be. You think they're going to hold on to this? You think this guy's got something in his background that's going to make people go, well, fuck, I saw that coming. I saw that coming. Who would have guessed that the guy that tried to shoot Donald Trump turned out to be some fucking crazy Antifa member? Still not released in full. Of course it's not, chat. Unfucking believable. I'll let that poll go for a minute as I'm digging through Twitter right now on the off chance that somebody does have something definitive. A lot of people saying the shooter's dead and that that's this Italian guy and that's it. There's no way. There's no way that's a real fucking headline. What? Okay. All right. So, on Twitter, Wall Street Silver had CNN headline up that said Secret Service rushes Trump offstage after he falls at a rally. I'm like, that can't be real. But the thing is, there's a cached version of it when you Google search CNN falls at a rally for multiple news organizations that had the same headline from about 2 hours ago. He's got blood dripping from his fucking head. He has blood dripping from his head. People scattered in the crowd. He fell at a rally? There's been an incident? Ooh, something untoward has happened? Do you mean somebody fired a bullet at the former president, Donald fucking Trump? Unfucking believable. Oh, yeah. They must get the news piped through different outlets. Because, yeah, that was this. I'm not even kidding you. This is a Fox station, by the way. Fox 13. Secret Service rushes Trump offstage after he falls at a rally. But when you click on it, it suddenly says, live update, shooter dead. Oh, wow. That's a bit of a different story. So, yeah, I could imagine that was a CNN headline. That they were all going with it. Oh, I can't wait to find out who this shooter is. I can't wait to find out who this fucking shooter is. The rumor right now going around, again, I'm just going to refer to them as Mark, because I don't know. We could all be wrong. A well-known Antifa extremist reportedly uploaded a video on YouTube before the attack titled "Justice Was Coming." Killed shortly after shooting at Trump. At least 2 people dead. Oh, somebody has to have that video. Justice is coming. So are you telling me this was a foreigner, a foreign Antifa member that came here just to kill Donald Trump? Wow. Wonder how they got in. Wow. Wonder why that was allowed to happen. Let's see how that poll's doing with our Star Wars aiming. Would it surprise you if this idiot was Antifa? No, was the answer. 3/4 of you know. It wouldn't surprise you. Oh, great. Dinesh D'Souza. Let me read you a quote from Joe Biden, the doddering old fuck. This is a quote Dinesh D'Souza put up. This is something Biden said a few days ago. I have one job, and that's how to beat Donald Trump. I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. So Joe Biden putting out the message, it's time to put Trump in a bullseye. 2 days later, he gets shot in his fucking head. Oh, no, that's fine. That's okay. Everybody's just misunderstanding it, right? Oh, it's misunderstanding. No, but ooh, whoops. Whoopsie doodles. What are we going to do? It feels like the country's gone insane. It feels like lunatics are running the country. And I don't know what their end goal is. You can't say they're accelerationists. because like they have some dystopic viewpoint of what they want the end goal to be rather than just change through fire. They're not accelerationists. I don't know what these people want. Everybody dead and miserable and broke and poor? You know, you are going to eat the bugs and live in the pod. That's a funny joke, but there are people that push this idea of no ownership. You're not going to own a house. You're not going to own a car. You're not going to own a bank account. You're not going to have your own money. Everything's going to be on credit. You're going to be wholly devoted to and dependent upon the state. The state will take care of all your needs. I mean, is that the goal? Make everything so miserable, so fucking broken? that you have no choice but to turn to the state? Make you sit in your house in fear because there are riots everywhere. Nobody gets prosecuted for anything. Cops can't arrest fucking people. You go to a grocery store and a fucking loaf of bread is under lockdown. Any politician that stands up to say otherwise gets shot in his head. Anybody that says something differently gets canceled on fucking social media. Can't make a living. No bank account for you. Can't have a job. Don't try to do this. Don't do that. Don't think this. Don't say that. Not allowed. Then you get people that say, oh, the election was stolen. Was the election stolen? And it comes back to this smug, taunting attitude. Whether or not the election was stolen or not, they're fucking with you now. They want to make it so it's just easy as pie to fucking vote illegally. Who needs a license? Who needs to be a citizen anymore? Who needs to even go to a voting place to do it? Just, hey, fuck it. Just crudely write the name of somebody on a piece of paper and slap it on a fucking store window. We'll count that as a vote these days. Who gives a shit? Welcome to a narco-tyranny. Nothing matters. You don't get to defend yourself. There's no security in your old age. We're at a real fucking tough point, folks. We really are. There are some serious issues that face this country, especially economically, and it needs to get sorted out. Because I feel bad for Zoomers and I feel bad for Gen Alpha because you guys are extraordinarily fucked. You're paying rents that are double what people pay for mortgages. And when you try to get a mortgage, you don't have the money to do it. And if God help you, you find some way of fucking getting a down payment for a mortgage, what do you end up facing? It's some variable rate. It's not a set rate. So, oh boy, now you get to, 10, 12%, and you're just getting fucked in your ass. Can't find a job that does shit for you because there aren't any decent fucking jobs around anymore. Because you're going to get replaced by kiosks and robots and drones. Old people forced to work even longer because they can't retire anymore. The social safety net so abused by people that the ones it's supposed to apply to, it just isn't there for anymore, and it won't be there for them when they need it. Kids today are really fucked. You're not going to own a home. You're probably not going to own a car outright. You're not going to have the security of Social Security. You're on your own. I mean, you're fucked. And the whole time that's going on, you're going to be told you're a piece of shit and that you should be grateful and you're overly privileged. And I don't know. We need to bring in 300 million more fucking foreigners because that somehow is going to make it better. I feel like I live in, it's like a lunatic asylum. It's been stagnant. We've reached like a political stagnation, a societal stagnation that's been in like a holding pattern for 10 years of just being decrepit without a solution to basic fucking problems. And it's this back and forth shit between the left and the right, except for some reason the left has decided to go full on insane. Because they allow these people around as pets. And they're just lunatics. I mean, what was the college? Do you remember? Let me take you back about 8 years. Was it Evergreen? What was the college? I think it was in, I'm going to say, Oregon or Washington, where they had a day that was set up that was supposed to be about, inclusivity and DEI. But they asked all the white people to leave the campus because they didn't want white people there, and a professor got upset about it, and it started this whole thing. That shit that went on with that in that particular college went on for 4 or 5 months of them endlessly haranguing and harassing everyone, going against administration, making things just shit for everyone. And they suffered no repercussions. There are no repercussions for shit like that. Burn a city down, no repercussions. Fuck an entire college up, no repercussions. Hell, just outright fraud and embezzlement, no repercussions. There's just fuck it, nobody gets punished. Except for the people that speak a little too loudly, except for the people we don't like. Take Alex Jones, for instance. Is Alex Jones a fucking idiot? Yes. Gay frogs and protein powders, okay? As he said, really dumb shit about things, different events, school shootings, yes. But do you think Alex Jones should be sued for $1 quadrillion? Do you think that he should be paying more money than money has ever been printed? And if they're able to go after Alex Jones, how the fuck is it when some Antifa member burns down a police precinct and blinds somebody in their eyes with a fucking laser, and that's caught on camera, they get given a day's worth of probation and let go? I just, there's like this disparity I'm not seeing here. It feels a little off to me. God, I hate politics. I just fucking hate it. I hate politics. But we've lost our mind. We've lost our mind. We're so far off fucking track. We've lost our minds. But I think it's clear as day that Donald Trump is going to be the next president. That debate if that debate didn't seal it, okay, I'd be really surprised. But this, there's no way. This is too much. This is far too fucking much. This is too on the nose. It's too in your face. It's too blatant and smug. There is absolutely no fucking way he is not becoming the next president. And I'm actually now afraid. I am afraid if somebody does try to steal this from him, if there's some shenanigans that take place and they try to steal this next election from him, because it's going to end fucking badly. That's my gut feeling on it. You don't see a guy get shot in his head and bounce back and be like, fuck it, I'm still standing, and not get elected president, when his competitor is a man that poops himself and mixes up the name of his vice president. There ain't no way this dude ain't going to be president. The idiot that fired that bullet has no clue the sequence of events that they put in place. And I look forward to watching mainstream media coverage, to seeing what politicians on both sides have to say. I want to see them tap dance around this. Let's see your fucking rhetoric now. Joe Biden talking about putting people in bullseyes. Oh, what unfortunate timing to say that. Now, do I think Joe Biden is actually, is actually saying shoot Donald Trump? No. But I'm saying I bet you somebody's stupid enough. Oh, we've got something. Looks like there's some, okay, we've got an update. We've got a news outlet saying the reports that are circulating currently on social media, our boy Mark, remember the Italian guy, that's not him. The video, the Italian video, was actually uploaded in January of 2023, so it couldn't be him. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to be careful, because you never know. People like their shenanigans. They like to get out there and shitpost a little bit. I can't even imagine how many times Sam Hyde's name has been bandied about at this point. I'm sure there's at least one news outlet that's reporting that good old Sam Hyde's out there and has started a civil war. What was it Ann Coulter said about the longer it takes for them to release the identity of a suspect? I seem to remember she had some quaint little saying about that. Chad, am I misremembering that? Wait for you to catch up. Maybe somebody can tell me if I've got the right saying. People saying it was Boogie. You know, you're not that far off. I did see, shockingly, this is going around. Did I actually put this in? Oh, God, everything's all fucky now. The bullet finally came down. That's me totally stealing that, by the way. I've stolen that, unrepentantly stolen that. It was funny. It was funny. It took years and years, but the bookstore is responsible. The bullet finally came back down to earth. We got our guy. Somebody in chat saying Coulter's Law. Now, I would imagine at an event this fucking large, with this many people, with this many cell phone cameras, somebody has to have that on film. Where is it? Where's the video? TV cameras everywhere, cell phone cameras everywhere. I know they're focused on Trump, but once those bullets started flying, once we heard bang, 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 pop, 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 somebody had to get that on film. I'm just really surprised it's not up on social media right this very fucking second. Yeah, this is so. They gifted him a photo op that you couldn't pay for. You couldn't pay for this. This is PR on a scale that just you can't make up. It's gifted to you. He got shot and he stood back up. Would I have done that? I don't know. I'd probably be on the ground crying like a little bitch. I'd be on the ground, oh God, my ear! Look at him. He knew. I guarantee you he knew. He knew. He fucking knew. This is it, man. This is that moment. This is that moment where I rise or fall. This is that moment where I show them what I'm made of. What kind of president and man am I? And he got back up and he fist pumped. Do you think Joe Biden would have? If this had been Joe Biden, he'd probably be pooping himself. He'd be on the ground crying, not because of a bullet, but because he dropped his vanilla ice cream cone. Yes, it's legendary fucking PR. And now we're all waiting. Hours later, who's the shooter? You know, what's their identity? We've got something. Killed a guy on video. Somebody's saying, well, I don't know what this video is. Let me just 1 second, chat. Is that the guy? Well, it looks like somebody that's in some kind of camo up on top of a structure. But again, it's so up in the air. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm going silent for a second, chat. I'm scrolling through the best I can to try to find any information about the shooter. So it looks like Mark the Italian, not the guy, not our guy. Oh, this looks terrible too. Somebody's reporting a source familiar with Trump's security detail tells that the former and future president's detail has been asking for beefed up protection and resources for the last few weeks, but has been rebuffed time and again by Biden's Department of Homeland Security. DHS, which oversees Secret Service protective detail, wasn't responsive to the requests for more resources. So you've got Biden saying, let's put a bullseye on his back and denying him extra security, and now he gets shot. Boy, that does look fucking terrible, doesn't it? Looks a little fucking suspicious, doesn't it? You know, I wish I had more info to give you. I do. I wish I had more info to give you. I wish we could go over who the shooter is. Maybe as this stream goes on and we're talking about Boogie, if that pops up, we'll stop talking about Boogie and come right back to fucking Trump. Because I want to know who the shooter is. Maybe if more details comes out about what the fuck just happened today, or his condition, or anything like that, we'll come right back to it. But as it stands now, here's what you need to know. Our country is headed towards one of the most contentious elections we're ever going to see. And I think that, you know, we've had a couple of doozies this last two, but this one in particular, they're shooting at him. That's the point we've reached. They are so scared of Donald Trump that silencing him on social media, filing civil lawsuits, filing criminal lawsuits, smearing him, none of that is done enough. He's still doing well in the polls, even leading in a lot of the polls. He's still doing well in debates. So we've reached the point where they're shooting at him. So what happens? Is there an escalation with that? Are the attempts that are going to be made on him going to be more blatant? Are they going to use bombs next? Or are they going to go after his most vocal supporters? Maybe try to scare the people that are going to vote for him? We've entered into the era of intimidation. This is an attempted assassination, and even in its failure, the goal would now be to intimidate you. To intimidate you from showing support, to intimidate you for voting for him, to intimidate you from talking about it, because you don't want to get shot, you don't want to get fucked with, you don't want to get fired, you don't want to get debanked, you don't want to get silenced, you don't want to get canceled. Enough. I'm sick of listening to this bullshit that's been pandered for the last 3 weeks about Agenda 2025. Ooh, Donald Trump's going to come into office, and the first things he's going to do is he's going to unfurl a Nazi flag, and then there's going to be Hitler speeches played 24 hours continuously nonstop, and he's going to goose step his way over little black boys' bodies as he screams, "Throw him back, get him out of my country, Agenda 25. You got to watch out, Donald Trump's coming in." Everybody's going to have a swastika etched in their forehead. Donald Trump, Agenda 2025. Fuck off. All right, just fuck off with your fairy tales and nightmare scenario shit. Good God. Fucking lunacy. All right, I'm sorry. I got a little heated. It's a current event, sure. But how the fuck do you not talk about the attempted assassination of a presidential candidate? One that's been just at the heart of American politics now for a decade. And one of the most contentious elections coming up. How would you not talk about that? And that's a thing I think they underestimate, and that's a thing that's going to hurt them most. Is it won't just be online where it can be controlled. This is water cooler talk. This is the sort of shit people see and hear and, come to find out about, and then they're talking around the water cooler at work. And oh boy, is that going to have some repercussions. Because you don't got a Discord furry mod that can run into the water cooler when you're talking to Jake at 6 in the morning and be like, "Oh, you can't talk about this, Furfanglup." People will talk about this in their daily lives, their personal lives. They're going to get a lot of centrists, a lot of people that were maybe leaning one way or the other or just disinterested. They're going to be like, "This is pretty fucked up. Why do they want to kill this guy? Maybe I should start listening to what he's saying. If they're so desperate to kill him, maybe he's got something worth listening to." Because that other guy, sure, he's incoherent. He's calling everybody by the wrong name. I don't think he even knows what day of the week it is. Fucking shit. Oh. Now that was our opening. That was our little opening. Nice short little opening. Just talking about the topical things. Again, I'm not your political guy. You're going to get much more concise, detailed, cutting, deep cut political analysis from the people that are really tuned into this. That's not me. I don't pretend that that's me. I can just give you my gut feelings on it from the way I'm looking at it. It's a reaction to what I've seen. But I'll tell you this. I was apathetic. A little bit nihilistic. I didn't agree with, his platform because it didn't really appeal to me. But guess who's voting for Trump now? Just fuck you. That's my response. You've literally convinced me to vote for Donald Trump, and I never did before. But now I'm going to, just to spite you. Just to spite you. MIGA. Oh, Donald and Juju come. I don't even care. MIGA. MIGA for life. You've convinced me. Because when I see a motherfucker take a bullet and bounce back up on his legs and be like, "Try again," I'm voting for him. That's how it is. That's just the reality of it. If a motherfucker can take a bullet, he can take my vote. I think that should be like a political thing. Oh, did you get shot and survive and not even give a fuck? Did you just Chad walk your ass off stage bleeding like it ain't a thing? You've got my fucking vote. And how many people do you think that's going to apply to? Oh, I bet you there's a lot. I bet you there are a lot of people that aren't really tuned into politics or don't really care. They're kind of detached. And they're going to see this and be like, "Ah, fuck. Everything's shit. I'm just going to vote for the dude that took a bullet and didn't give a fuck." Man's up there literally saying YOLO. I think he earned that vote. Now, before we do Boogie, I think it's important that we take a moment, really. Let me just pull down the Trump picture for a moment. That we take a moment, because it's been a hectic day. It's not just Jesus, it's not just Donald Trump. All right, it's not just Donald Trump, not just Boogie. A legend is dead. Somehow, Donald Trump has used his mega magic to teleport the bullet that was meant to end his life and has inserted it directly into the skull of Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons is dead. The legend of all time, Richard Simmons. Our little acrobat, our little aerobic instructor. Richard, who spent his life dedicated to tormenting fat people. A lot of people don't know this, but Richard Simmons hated fat people. And his whole let's get exercising thing was just his way of viciously bullying them. He would make workout routines he knew would never lose them weight, just so he could take their money and laugh at them. That was his game plan from the start. In fact, I'm pretty sure he left a note, on his deathbed that said, just so you all know, I fucking hate fat people. Signed, Richard. It's pretty based, to be honest. So I put together a little tribute for Richard. I'm gonna instead of doing like break music, because it's like 5 minutes anyway. So I think it's fitting. So let's do our tribute. 07's in chat. Rest in peace, little Richard. And we'll come back after. I'm gonna go grab a drink. Get a drink if you need one. We'll get into the Boogaloo. The Boogaloo shit show.
America's best aerobic athlete.